Hello and welcome to a new episode on Sadhana World Foundation. As you know, we care about crafting young lives. We talk about our day-to-day experience and connect them with the teachings in our ancient texts. We think that these teachings have a tremendous amount of significance in our lives to make our lives better and happier. Yesterday, I was attending a session of business leaders where a speaker was invited to speak on the topic of mindfulness. The speaker was someone called Gopi Krishna Swami, who's an expert in this particular field. He has received training from Zen masters and has been coaching people like all of us around the world. What he said was very interesting. It struck a chord in my mind. He said that many things in our body work in an autopilot mode. We don't even realize that things are happening in our body. Like our heart keeps on functioning, the blood keeps on flowing, we keep on breathing, digestion and various other processes are happening in our body without we being aware that there are things happening inside this body. It's like a very complicated machinery which is working very well for all of us. It's in an autopilot mode. We do not know who's actually driving all of this. Who's the pilot? We don't know. That's why it is in an autopilot mode. And there is something called mind, which all of us know, but we don't know how it looks like, how it feels, how it smells, and all of that. We can't really experience it. We can't touch it. It is not tangible. But the mind, we know, keeps on wandering. We have no control on our minds. So the point that he was trying to make is that there are techniques which are there in our ancient texts. There are practices that many gurus have told us time and again to do little bit of control of the mind, to be aware where the mind is, to have some degree of control on the mind so that I take the mind to the place that I want to be. So the technique is, he talked about it in detail, but just for our cursory understanding, he says that the first thing is just to be conscious of where I am and what is my current situation, what I am dealing with, what's the most important challenge that I am dealing with. Let's say I am eating. Can I think about the food that I am eating? Let's say I am drinking a glass of water. Can I really concentrate on that glass of water? If I am reading an email or I am looking at a text, can I really focus all my energy on that text? When I am trying to solve a problem, do I know what problem I am solving? So I did a little bit of more research on this particular topic. This concept of mindfulness has been there, especially in the last few years, being talked about very often because all of us are getting distracted thousands of times during a day thanks to the mobile phones that is there. Many of us are worried if I am missing something important which is happening around me. We have the fear of missing out and hence we keep on picking up the phone and checking what's happening. Is there an interesting piece of news that I am losing to know about? Is there an interesting development or a significant development which I might lose to know and to take action? That's what is the reality in which today we are living, and hence many wise people have been advising us time and again to really be mindful. That means be conscious of where you are. Either we are deeply inundated with the actions, events of the past, or we are thinking about the future. We are not staying in the present. That's the point. I did a little more research on this, and an interesting story about Zen Buddhism came to my notice. This story is about two Buddhist monks who were crossing a forest. They finally cross the forest and reach a village. On that intersection point of the village and the forest, they find a lovely girl who's just stuck there because the road is muddy and it's still pouring heavily. One of the monks instinctively tells the lovely girl, "Hey girl, come on, I'll help you," and lifts the girl from that position and helps her cross that wide stretch of muddy land. So they keep going. The two monks are fully drenched and they keep on walking, and finally they reach a place where they could spend the night. As they are going to sleep, the other monk asks this person, "Hey, I have a question. Why did you carry that girl? We all as monks are told to stay away from the female folks. We are supposed to meditate, we are supposed to stay focused and not really get distracted by people of the other gender." You know what the other monk told this person? He said, "You are still carrying the girl, but I left her there." It was so profound, so intense, that I thought this is a story that all of us must think about. In Hinduism, in Stoicism, in various other philosophies, we are told to really be aware of where we are and think of the pros and cons about the present and take our decision. Ladies and gentlemen, my dear children, it's a profound story that many a times we keep carrying the burden of the past. Like in this example, the monk who actually lifted the girl from one point to the other really had forgotten about it and had let that go. But the other monk, who just was a witness to this event, was still carrying that thought in his mind about touching a female. That was so much of a problem in that person's mind, and the person did not resolve that issue for a long time. And what happened in his mind? It happens to all of us. We remain under stress and we say that our life is so stressful. I am no exception. However, it's the time that we need to think and improve our lives. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for spreading these timeless pieces of wisdom to many other people. I look forward to our future conversations. Thank you very much.